want to talk to anyone who's been watching this week and thinking, I'd love to do that, but I just can't face being out there. The feeling of being seen or someone walking past and looking over your shoulder, and that feeling of not knowing what you're doing in public can feel really intimidating and absolutely off-putting. And why would you put yourself through that? And in reality, I still feel it from time to time. Even now, my introvert self turns up to 10 out of 10. And there are days when I walk to a spot, I stand there for a moment, and then I just keep walking because something in me isn't ready to be seen trying, especially on a more wobbly day. If that sounds familiar to you, today's video might help. Because on those days, I've found something that works. I get in the car, I drive, I find a spot with a good view, and I sketch from inside the car. Engine off, usually radio off, sketchbook on the steering wheel, the whole scene right there in front of me through the windscreen. And nobody can see your page. Nobody walks past and glances over. There's no feeling of performance, no audience, just you and the view and a small quiet bubble of your own. The windscreen even helps compositionally because it's already a frame. You're not deciding where to look. The rectangle of the windscreen is doing that for you, which is actually a really useful thing when you're finding your way into sketching outside, but in the car. So that's the invitation today. If outside feels too much, try the car first. But here's the honest part of today. I got in the car, drove to the spot. I saw the scene, tree, swan, bench, far bank, white flowers, reeds. It had everything. And I totally forgot everything I've been talking about all week. I just started drawing everything, all of it, with equal importance. And I hated it. You can see from the first version that the bench demanded far too much attention in the foreground. The Tombow pens that I'd used were too graphic for me, too heavy, and definitely needed softening. The bridge kind of was there, but was apologetically there, and the swan was so tiny and lost. Everything was competing and nothing was winning. So I stopped, took a moment, took a breath, looked at the scene again, got over my sense of frustration and resolved to ask myself why I'd actually parked there in the first place. What was the one thing? And it was the bridge, that warm terracotta arch with the dark recesses, the tree leaning over it, and the sense of something being sheltered under the bridge or a secret behind it. That was the thing. Everything else was just the world around it. So I got rid of the bench entirely. I actually used my Posca pen. You know, I said a few days ago that it's handy having a white Posca pen in your kit for if ever you want to kind of block something out or calm something down. And that's exactly what I did. I blocked out as best I could the bench with a white Posca pen, and then I went over it with the palette that I was using. I let the swan stay small and quiet, kind of present but not demanding any attention. And I let the bridge be what I wanted it to be from the beginning. I made the terracotta even warmer and, excuse me, I calmed down the heaviness of the tree and made it more green, so the palette suddenly became blue, orange and green rather than blue, orange, green and brown. And those simple little adjustments just help consolidate everything that's going on in the scene. And it's crazy because what you think is a peaceful scene in front of you, and it is peaceful, it just was too busy with visual information, different textures, different shapes, different opportunities to tell a story. And it is so easy to get sidetracked with telling it all. Just pick one thing. The second drawing, or the drawing on top of the drawing, isn't perfect, and it's probably unlikely to make my top 10 of this month. But it's honest, and at least I recognised what I did wrong. I stopped myself, and I'm actually tempted to go back and try again from that spot. But for now, I'll move on. So the tip for today is, when it's not working in the moment, stop, look again, find the one thing that made you sit down in the first place, then draw that one thing and let everything else become the supporting cast.